Oh, sorry. Just middle of a good story. $124 on Amazon and 2 on sales. Go wild. Oh, look at that light. Bright light, too. Guys, right, a bit off here. Blogging from paradise. I was thinking about most blogs I read, what they're, if you want to call a blog a they, are missing. 5 minutes ago, I just published a post, 3 minutes ago, on my blog. And I usually do blogging tips 99.9% of the time. Once a week or so, I put a travel theme post as a page. So it's actually not a post, a page on my blog. And then today I decided to put a travel theme post on my blog. A rare post, but here and there I do that. It's fun. 5 intriguing toilet situations from my world travels, and then in parentheses, not for the faint of heart. And the thing is, guys, you have to think, is your blog missing this one thing? Is your blog missing this? And this post wraps it up perfectly. Stories. Stories resonate with people. They make people take note. They reach us on a deeper level. They strike an emotional chord. And obviously, you may not be able to talk about some of your most graphic toilet experiences from around the world, like me. Should I even want to do that? I don't know. But it's that type of entertainment and fun. It's like I've mentioned in posts before, like, why do people tune into Netflix? To get a dry ass, straight, boring story? Or, just a recount of a life or of what could have been a wildly entertaining experience. No, we're on Netflix because we love our comic book stories, all those Marvel shows and the DC shows and the comedy shows. It's Always Sunny in Philadelphia. These are really, really entertaining shows. Even if they're not up your alley, you could pretty much say it. Most of the top shows on Netflix are entertaining. The top movies are entertaining. They're stories. That's what it is more than anything else. They are entertaining stories. They tell a story. And from when we're little kids, when we're tucked in, parents reading us bedtime stories, to when we're watching TV, to when we're watching Netflix now, or Amazon Prime, or going to the movies, or watching TV, or watching stuff on demand. We love stories. Novels. This guy's phenomenal. You want to become a better storyteller? Read this guy's stuff. His name's James Patterson. I think he's like the best-selling author of all time. Lee Child. One of the best-selling authors of all time. Phenomenal storytellers, and I read this stuff voraciously, and that's why I could tell stories freely through my blog. Now, I have a lot of wild stories to tell, but they don't have to be wild, they don't have to be out there, they don't have to be some type of groundbreaking, some of the stuff, like I'm trying to pitch Netflix on my life, because I've had so many wild, out of control, funny, death-defying travel stories, where it would make a really good series, I believe. And people have told me that, even screenwriters have told me, they've seen my tweets, and like, yeah, make a great movie. But you don't need that to resonate with people. You don't need wild stories to tell stories. You don't need entertainment. Just tell a story. What's going on in your life? How can you relate it to blogging or whatever your niche is? But especially if you're in a blogging tips niche, how can you relate what's going on in your life today? And we all have countless stories every day, from when you got up to taking a shower, and it's drawing an analogy and not pissing on your story, because so many folks think their story's worthless because they look at my blog and like today's post, these toilet situations, really graphic stuff, wild stuff, going in an outhouse in a remote jungle in Costa Rica, almost dying in India, a very, very funny sign we saw in Koh Lanta, Thailand. One of the other stories was me almost missing Machu Picchu in Peru, because in Cusco, I called it Machu Picchu, because I got really sick. Either I got a little too high in the coca tea, or I just experienced food poisoning, and that was very, very graphic. So, you may not have that, but it doesn't matter. You're not living on a competitive plane. You're creating from a place of abundance. So tell stories in your blog. If your blog is missing stories, it's just a dry, third-person account in most cases. And although you'll have success, it could be so much more fun if you just inject stories in here and there. They really resonate. And if you look, marketing across the board, these hyper-successful folks and just these happiest folks and folks who are having the most fun, they're telling stories. Now, it could be more of a third-person account where you're talking about somebody else. That's fine. I love infusing my story into my brand because I think I'm drawn to everything, and a lot of people too, when they look at the source of the blogger themselves. What's their story? How are they experiencing it? Oh, they seem more human to me. Like, people don't see my mistakes, because it's not just travel stuff, although I tell a lot of travel stories. I talk about mistakes, my victories, this and that. And when you tell stories like that, you're going to connect with people on a deeper level. Guys, I'd be here for half hour because I love this stuff, and God, the stories I could tell. Like I said, hopefully Netflix will get out there. Share this video on all your social networks. Share this post on all your social networks, and start selling them too. But start telling stories, morning cough, with your blog, through your blog, and it's your life story. What are you experiencing now? How can you relate it to the blogging tips niche, or whatever niche, even if you don't want to put an accent on blogging tips like I just did? Just tell stories, tell your life story, maybe tell a client story. But I love working my experiences into my posts just to show people, okay, offline stuff, to develop analogies and correlations between your offline life and your online life, which is really good. And then just telling stories about your blogging experiences. That's a really good start. I've done this worked, this didn't work for me. It may resonate with you, it may not. But really, when you start working those offline stories into the posts, magic. As Delilah's entering, that probably means exit stage left for Ryan. This is Chancey Chanstein, Delilah, our good friend. Kitty. Again, share this post on all your social networks, share the video all over the place, and start telling those stories, guys. And hey, you want a good story? I have tons of courses where I delve into my stories on my blog at bloggingparadise.com. How to get on famous blogs, the fundamentals of successful blogging. I have another one coming out with my wife Kelly, a live class, which is going to be so much fun. And I should have another one coming out on a really big site, course site, specialized in courses. And then also I have 124 ebooks on Amazon, all under the Blogging from Paradise name. They're fun, guys. A lot of blogging tips books, a lot of travel books, and then 2 on sales as well. How to retire to a life of island hopping, smart blogging, and how to build an empire through blog commenting. And you'll see those on my blog sidebar at bloggingparadise.com. So, go wild. It's fun. This is fun stuff. Resonates with you. Enjoy them. And hey, enjoy paradise.